Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weischadle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weischadle. Doug, my brackets look terrible, but thankfully, I don't know how I did this. My final four are still intact. So
I have to check which brackets I've got left because I know the couple of the upsets kind of threw my brackets out of whack. But like everybody else, this is what happens during March Madness. That's why they have March Madness.
Baylor's gone. God knows what else you guys have in your brackets are gone. So interesting. I was trying to think of how I was doing at this point last year, and I just can't remember it. I probably had it was probably screwed up as much last year as this year, but this year it feels like there's been so many upsets.
Can you imagine the betting that's going on right now? The hold percentage is probably so screwed up because of all these upsets with everybody.
Oh no, it's crazy. So I'd be curious to see how the sports books made out after this one, considering the amount of upsets and things like that. So it's been very entertaining. So I'll say that.
This is actually the first March Madness while I've watched almost every game.
Oh, yeah.
As much as possible because they're all going on sometimes at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, I'm just curious to see exactly how this next round goes.
Sure.
In terms of, I guess everyone who lost with the upsets is now going to renew their betting efforts in the next round.
They're chasing now.
Yeah.
Right now they're chasing. So,
unless you got somebody who... there are no more perfect brackets according to both ESPN and NCAA. There are no more perfect brackets.
So
they're all gone.
So yeah. So I was very curious to see who had St. Peter's on any of their brackets the first two rounds. Unless you know someone at St. Peter's or have gone to St. Peter's, I don't think anyone picked St. Peter's, and good for them.
I'm just curious to see if actually anybody does have St. Peter's going this far.
And you know what sucks? They're a New Jersey school, so people in New Jersey can't place a bet on them.
Unless you go to New York or Pennsylvania.
You can go New York or Pennsylvania because in New Jersey you're not allowed to place bets on a college or university located in your state. So,
well,
no betting on St. Pete's in New Jersey.
New Jersey's missing out on that tax revenue.
Yeah.
That's all you can say.
Well, we got a great show coming up for you this week. We got a Beat in the House segment. We got a book report. And for my interview, I'm talking with CEO of the World Poker Tour, Adam Pliska. I can't believe it's their 20th year. They got a lot of great stuff going on. They even have NFTs. I know we always have an NFT in our rundown, some story about an NFT. They have NFTs now. They have Steve Aoki as their new ambassador. A lot of great stuff happening in the 20th year of the World Poker Tour. We're going to hear all about it from CEO of the World Poker Tour, Adam Pliska. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
Major League Baseball is up and running again. They are in their spring training games right now. They're doing a lot of free agent signings. We'll probably talk about Major League Baseball betting at some point soon because we're getting closer and closer to the regular season launch. And honestly, I don't like betting on everything right now until we have all the free agent stuff settled because there's so many big moves still being made.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard doing futures when you're not quite sure what moves your teams are going to make. And so, it's interesting. So just recently, Red Sox made some moves. Phillies making moves.
Yankees haven't.
Well,
not really. They want to be a more fiscally responsible team, I guess.
A lot of people, they're making moves. I'm not sure if a lot of their Yankee fans are liking their moves, but
we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. It's still early.
But we're going to talk a little bit about the gambling components of the CBA. I know we're talking about a little bit more in the book report as well, but again, the CBA was just negotiated between the Players Union and Major League Baseball, and one of the things that people were pointing out, especially in our industry, is that there are now some gambling clauses.
Yes, some very interesting gambling clauses.
The first one is the hotline.
For me, this is the most interesting. Go ahead, tell people what it's all about. Then
according to the CBA,
yeah,
all clubs, and this is team by team. This is not league.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming there's going to be a league main hotline.
Okay.
But this is all clubs will be required to institute enhanced ballpark safety measures, and a hotline will be developed for the purpose of addressing and reporting gambling-related threats to the players and their families.
It's interesting to me because when I read this, the first thing I thought of, are they having problems with this already? I mean, I never thought of instituting a hotline for this issue, but I wonder if there's some situations that are occurring or have occurring. Is there worry that there may occur, something like this may occur, and what are the reasons for these worries? So that kind of, it opened up a whole can of worms for me. Why do they need this? Which is a great idea. I think it's a great idea, but I didn't think it would be part of the CBA.
Well, something like this has occurred.
Okay.
Back last year, March 2021, about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get his name right. Benjamin Tucker Patz.
Okay.
A professional gambler pleaded guilty to threatening members of the Tampa Bay Rays via social media.
Okay.
For his gambling losses.
Yeah, I think I remember that story.
He got sentenced.
Yeah, I know he got sentenced. I know, but I just, when you do a hotline, you think of a more widespread problem. I took that story as kind of a, kind of an outlier kind of thing, and you know what? He did it. He got caught. The system works. They grabbed him, and they I guess they're going to sentence him. I don't know what the sentence was.
You got to remember this. Gambling has doubled in terms of market size.
Sure.
And there are more states.
Don't
available.
Get me wrong. I think
there were more stories like this.
Yeah.
It's just this guy was the most high profile one.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great idea. I think every team should have something like this. But I was just worried why they would put it in a CBA. You would think, it would be kind of, let's do it. It doesn't need to be in a CBA. Teams don't need to be ordered to do this. But it
should have been common sense to begin
with. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It should be common sense.
I think it's, like I said, a hotline is a great idea. Anything that protects the integrity of the game is a great idea. But I'm just surprised it was, put down in writing to, in a CBA for it to happen. But,
well, again,
it's very interesting.
It's an evolving situation.
Sure, no, it's great. That's a great idea.
And the other clause that actually bears consideration, the third clause was active players can now go get brand and ambassadorships with sportsbooks.
Yeah,
that's common sense too.
Yeah,
in this day and age.
And of course the the third one you should I guess I'm sure you're going to talk about is the don't sell the medical stuff from your players.
Confidential medical information, personal biometric data, and any other non-public data used to evaluate player performance in practice or training.
Sure.
The CBA now prohibits the league or the clubs from selling that data,
which is great.
Now I don't
selling
know,
or licensing. That data.
I don't know if this has a escape clause where it says if the player gives permission.
Well, sure. I mean, I think you're going to have stuff like that, but I think the injury report is enough for a thing. That's why the injury report is there in any business, any NFL. Why the hell do we need to know the injuries? Because people are betting on it.
Well, it's not just injury; it's also the data that gets fed to the sports.
But no, like I said, the injury report before the game, that's enough for us. I mean, you don't want teams sending things out about their players, the medical things about their players.
I'm wondering how far this clause goes. Maybe that does affect the injury report.
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean,
we'll see.
We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
But again, baseball's back, gambling's with it, and good luck with the futures coming up.
Absolutely.
Exit 2.
Well, this past weekend, we actually had the opportunity to participate in a little history being made in the state of New Jersey.
Well, we watched history being made.
Well, we participated. We were walking around. We are talking about the first ever state-sanctioned peer-to-peer esports betting or wagering tournament being held at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino on the Atlantic City Boardwalk, and it was called Landuel, Landuel.
Oh, it was an incredible event, and congratulations to Grant Johnson and the Esports Entertainment Group. They did something special down there, and it was fantastic to watch.
It was actually very, very unique. I have to admit, this is the first time I've ever been to an in person to a esports tournament. This was NFL Madden 2000, Madden 22 is what it's called.
Yeah. No, this is the first time I was at an esport event too, and I'm glad it was Madden, so I can follow along watching the players. I got to stand like right behind them, which was really cool. So I felt a little weird looking over their shoulder, but they were just so focused playing Madden. And the great thing about being Madden is I can follow the game. I understood the game. Some of these shoot 'em up things, the I
League of Legends,
yeah,
Valorant,
I was going to make a
Dota.
I know I was going to screw up the title, so I didn't even try. But no, I'm glad it was football because I understood the game. I understood what was happening. I could follow the game. It was really exciting. And like I said, these guys were so focused in the game, and the element of the betting just really notched up the competition a whole lot.
Well, it was very interesting to watch how the room itself was set up. You walk in, first things that strikes you is the amount of neon.
Yeah.
It was beautifully set up.
Rows and rows of computers, which was, like I said, I've never been to an esport event. You've never been to an esport event. I didn't know what to expect, and it was like rows and rows of computers and brightly colored lights, and it was just fascinating, the whole atmosphere of it.
And the lighting in the room itself added to it. Because you kept the lights down low, the neon on the servers, the computer screens. The entire room was lit up just by the computers, and you see rows upon rows of people playing and actually challenging each other to games.
Oh no, it was great. They were betting on it. They had these side bets going. It was such an amazing event. I mean, it was fascinating to watch it, and the competition, like I said, they were just so focused and so into it, and really great. I mean, I couldn't even begin to do what they were doing on the computer. And the element of betting made the the trash talking a little better, and the kind of the competition a little fiercer, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
The one thing I liked about it, really, I mean, it was the fact that everyone was friendly, great attitude.
Oh, I love it. No,
it was intense in certain areas. There was some really good back and forth.
Oh
between
no,
some
but
of the players.
it was kind of like it's a great environment. I love the esports community because they really have each other's backs. I mean, like I said, they competition is really great, but they're friends at the end of the day, and it's like they're all one for all and all for one, and it's great to see. That's what makes this community really strong. It's the players that really understand each other and they really help each other out. They're brothers and sisters in arms and kind of thing like that, and it's really great to see the camaraderie.
It's almost a familial competition.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. No, the whole vibe of the room was great.
It was actually intense,
and like
in certain areas, very relaxed in others, and as soon as they got done playing, they're all laughs and giggles.
Oh
and
no,
fun.
It's great. No, they were, and it was history. It was the first peer-to-peer betting event, and judging by the success and by everyone's comments on how great it was, how fun it was, this certainly won't be the last. So I think there's going to be incredible things happening in the esports world because of events like this.
I hope Grant Johnson, the CEO of Esports Entertainment Group, I hope he does more of these, especially the ones that we can get to.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
because now I want to keep
doing it in Jersey. I'm having a ball here.
But again, the entire group there did a really bang-up job putting it together. Yeah. They put on a very special product and a very unique product in the marketplace today. And I hope a lot of the casinos that actually visited and watched everything that was going on really take this into account because this is something special.
And you mentioned the casinos. Hard Rock did a great job with the setup. I mean, it was the facilities were fantastic.
Yes, everything from top to bottom was great.
Yeah.
But again, it's first time I've ever been to one. I hope to go to more.
Oh yeah, no, I had a lot of fun.
Exit 3.
Well, we're going to move from the esports industry to the NFT industry.
I knew this had to come. We have an NFT story every week. I'm actually doing an interview with Adam Pliska from the World Poker Tour, and they have NFTs. So everyone in the world has NFTs now.
Well, NFT...
Except us. We should get an NFT.
Exit 3 is slowly becoming the NFT exit, okay. I guess so. NF3. How's that?
There you go.
But we're going to be talking about the USFL's NFT marketplace. The USFL is going to be launching on April 16th.
Okay.
As everyone knows, they're going to be playing all their games in one location in Alabama.
Okay.
But again, opening kickoff.
I'm very curious to see it.
Is going to be April 16th.
So, yep.
They got a lot of the old teams,
yes,
as well as a few new ones.
Don't say old team, say classic.
Okay.
The classic.
The original teams. How's that? Original.
I still have New Jersey General T-shirts and sweatshirt, so,
Well, I think a lot of people do.
I have to break them out. Yeah.
Of all of the spring football leagues, I think the USFL has made the biggest impact in terms of our generation because we still think
in the
about
80s?
it.
Yeah, sure, in the 80s.
And I remember a lot of the USFL players ended up in the NFL.
Yeah, Hall of Famers.
Herschel Walker, Doug Flutie, Steve Young. I remember
Steve
the LA
Young.
Express. Unfortunately, the LA Express is not part of this new incarnation of
Reggie
the USFL.
Reggie White.
Memphis Showboats.
Sure, absolutely.
But what we have here...
Steve Young, yeah.
Steve Young, the LA Express. Yeah. We have Fox Sports, which owns the USFL, has announced that they will be launching an NFT marketplace that will involve not just the teams, but also the players and the coaches.
When you say involve the players and the coaches, what do you mean? They're all going to have their NFTs, huh?
I'm glad you said
okay.
involved. You asked that question.
Involved.
Because,
I use the word involved.
They will be creating, or as the industry uses, they will be able to mint their own NFTs on this marketplace. It's like doing a coin, basically.
Okay, minting.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
The deal is between Fox Sports and the USFL and Fox Entertainment's Blockchain Creative Labs, or BCL.
BCL, okay.
So basically, this is an entire Fox Sports venture, this entire league.
Okay.
So it's going to be BCL creating, or as the platform for the coaches, players, and teams to mint their NFTs.
Okay.
That will be sold through the league, through the network. And the unique thing about this blockchain platform, this NFT platform, is it's not going to be the league selling them. It's basically everybody selling them at the same time. And I'm simplifying it for this conversation because the contracts that the players and the coaches have signed with the league with regards to this NFT collection, they will be able to get their revenue share of these NFTs right away and not worry about getting a check down the road.
So it's like a name, image, and likeness contract, kind of like an NIL, huh?
It's sort of like that.
Okay.
It falls under that kind of discussion because it depends on what they create. I mean, if the coach doesn't put his name, image, or likeness on it, it's not an NIL deal.
Okay.
Same thing with the players. But again, it's a starting point. They're going to be able to, I don't know what the limitations are on what the graphical representations they can create or the animations they can create. I don't know if they're going to be able to do any of their historic plays.
Oh, okay.
I know there's some of the coaches have some backgrounds in pro and college sports, so I don't know if they're going to be able to do any kind of graphical display of any plays they're well known for.
It's like those Philly tattoos of the Philly special.
Exactly.
They have the playbook version on their arm or their leg with the X's and O's and the arrows and stuff like that. And
this is a very...
by the way, I would purchase an NFT of the Philly special.
You mean of the X's and O's?
I do the X's and O's. I'm a part of Philadelphia history. So, and me being an Eagles fan, I would want something like that.
In terms of an NFT like that, that's where the name, image, and likeness... And also, you also have to get approval from the league to get that footage.
I would guess, yeah, the footage. I don't know about the playbook version of it, but
the X's and O's. If you can animate the X's and O's,
that'd be cool,
and do an NFT based on that.
So
that would be a great Philly special NFT.
So let me get the alphabet soup right on this story we're doing. The USFL has NIL deals of NFTs that are created by BCL. Did I get that eye chart kind of description right? Did I get all the letters right?
Well, you have to add on a league that's aired on FOX.
FOX. Okay.
So the alphabet soup is right there.
All right. Okay, good.
So it'll be kind of fun to watch this. It's the first time coaches and players are going to be allowed to participate revenue-wise right away. They even had to sign electronic contracts for this.
Oh, okay.
They had to create their own, I don't want to say digital wallet, but their own accounts on BCL, where actually everything is all digital contracts, the minting, and the payments. are all going to be electronic. I don't know exactly what the special features some of these NFTs are going to have. Maybe they're going to have freedom. The players and the coaches are going to have freedom to create the special features themselves or suggest it.
Oh, okay. Well,
but we don't know exactly what they're going to be doing. But digital collectibles are all the rage now.
Great. Yeah, I hope the NFL takes a play out of the USFL's playbook and let the players and coaches do their own NFTs and share in it. So that'd be pretty cool.
I just like the way these new leagues launch, and one of the automatic components of a new league is an NFT.
NFT, yeah.
Exit 4.
All right, for this last exit this week, we're going to talk a little trademark law.
All right.
Sports trademark law, to be honest with you here. We've got a TV series airing on HBO that is involving a league's team's logos and trademarks. And if people have been following what's going on HBO lately, you know I'm referring to the LA Lakers docuseries that's been airing on the channel for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard good things about it, so I figure it's a docuseries, so I'm going to binge it all at once. That's how I watch TV now. I just binge things.
Well, HBO has been showing this series called Winning Time about the LA Lakers, based upon Jeff Pearlman's 2014 book Showtime.
Okay.
Showtime, as pretty much everybody on the planet knows, has been associated with the Lakers for years and years and years. When Magic Johnson was there, they used to call the actual play on the court Showtime.
Yep.
And the team has trademarked the word for their ownership to be able to use it for merchandise as well as anything else that they can think of with regards to the team itself.
And I'm assuming Jeff Pearlman, because he used the word Showtime for the title of his book, I'm assuming he got permission for it?
The publisher got permission to use it for the book.
All right, good.
And so I haven't seen the series yet. I have to be honest, I haven't seen it. I've heard some really great things about it.
Can I make a leap in logic, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the fact that the television series or the docuseries is called Winning Time, I'm assuming there was no permission given, or they didn't even look for permission, they just changed the name. Am I on the kind of right track on that one? And is that the trademark issue you're talking about?
Yes and no.
Oh, yes, okay.
The title of the thing, Winning Time, does show that there was some consideration in terms of trademark issues in place here. Now, it's not really what we're going to be talking about for the next couple of minutes.
Okay.
Back in 2015, let's set the stage for HBO's previous use of league marks, or other league marks, I should say, in productions.
Oh, okay. I think I know where you're going with this.
In 2015, HBO had the series Ballers.
All right.
The Dwayne Johnson football series, which involved a lot of the NFL team
logos. Completely different league, so
they had the
probably
team
different
logos,
rules.
Team logos and also names. And the NFL didn't say anything about it.
Okay, all right.
But the entire series had all that intellectual property involved. And when you do use intellectual property or someone else's intellectual property in a production, more than likely, you really 99% of the time you should go to the IP holder or their attorneys and get permission to use the intellectual property in the production. Mm-hmm. Where it came to Ballers, HBO did not get permission, but the NFL did not do anything.
Okay.
So far, so good.
That's great.
HBO's fine.
Okay.
A couple years later, ESPN decided to try the same thing with the NFL, and they created a series called Playmakers, which involved more on the field stuff than the agent stuff in Ballers. Mm-hmm. And the Playmakers did feature team names and logos, and the NFL stepped in and stopped them.
Okay, all right.
So the NFL had a different take on when ESPN was using the intellectual property than when HBO was using the intellectual property.
Okay.
Now, here we are, fast forward to 2022. We have HBO doing the NBA series like we've been talking about, Winning Time, based upon Showtime, based upon the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay, all right.
According to the NBA, they have issued a statement saying clearances to use NBA trademarks were not sought or granted, and the league objects to any unauthorized use of its intellectual property.
Okay, that's from the NBA. That's the official stance of the NBA.
That's their statement from the NBA.
Okay. Have they done anything? Have they filed?
Well, let me go one step further.
Oh, okay.
The Lakers also have issued a statement The Lakers have no comment as we are not supporting or involved with this project.
How non-committal.
That's a denial.
We don't care.
Yeah, that's basically what they just said. And people are wondering why the NBA or even the Lakers themselves have not stepped in with this production on HBO.
Look, it's on TV right now, right? It's on HBO right now. It's being aired. Nothing was filed by the league. Nothing's filed by the Lakers. So, yeah, I guess is everyone waiting for something? Are trademark attorneys just staring at this, wondering what could happen, or fantasizing? If I was a lawyer, I'd do this on one side. If I was a lawyer for the other side, I'd do this.
Well, here's a couple things.
Lawyers love stories like this, by the way.
This is an interesting case in two ways. Number one, if they have a deal, the NBA has a deal with Time Warner, which also owns HBO.
Okay.
For broadcasting their rights on Turner, the game rights, for $1.2 billion. Mm-hmm. Now, you have to take a look at that contract to see exactly what content is covered by that contract. That's
an interesting point. And I'm sure if one lawyer on one side is going to say, yeah, no, it's covered by the contract, I'm sure another lawyer on the other side would say, no, it's not covered by the contract. That's why lawyers love stories like this. Now, they could go either way.
Here's the other prong to this here. Mm-hmm. They don't have to file right away.
Yeah.
If this docuseries gets aired on HBO and stays on HBO, and then the ancillary sales on the video on demand markets, if that doesn't, if that starts raking in the money, then we may see somebody step in there.
Well, we'll see.
But again, I don't know if the NBA wants to risk the $1.2 billion.
Yeah. Like I said, we don't know what's in the contract, but it's fun fantasizing what's in the contract.
Yeah. There's no trouble. Let me be clear. There's no trouble now.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thing to look
topic.
at. Yeah, no, it's very interesting. It's one of those things. It's such a law school topic, isn't it?
Yes.
You can make arguments either way on the thing. So it's an interesting thing to look at.
We'll just see what happens.
And today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And as always, you can get in touch with Turnpike Sports by calling or texting us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. At Turnpike Sports is the show's handle on Facebook and Twitter. At Turnpike Sports Radio is our handle on Instagram. And as always, our email address is info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to the show via Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, radio.com mobile app, as well as Stitcher and YouTube. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesports.net. You'll be able to watch our video channel there.
Well, we got a great show coming up. We got a Beat in the House, and we got a book report coming up. And then I'm talking with CEO of the World Poker Tour, Adam Pliska. It's their 20th anniversary. I can't believe they're 20 years old. And, we talked about NFTs. Now World Poker Tour has NFTs. We're going to talk all about that. We're going to talk about their new ambassador, Steve Aoki, amazing music producer and also a great poker player. We're going to find out all the great stuff the World Poker Tour is doing for its fans on its 20th anniversary. So stick around. I'll be talking with Adam Pliska next from the World Poker Tour. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Psst. Yeah, you. Come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here.
Use offer code
SPICE404.
They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more.
Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. Dave Weischadle with you here. Anyone who listens to this show knows I'm a huge fan of the World Poker Tour. Now in its 20th year, it's better than ever with the debut of WPT Prime, its deal with Fubo TV, its partnership with FanJolt, getting Steve Aoki as an ambassador, and it even has NFTs. And to tell us all about what's going on with the World Poker Tour, we have returning guest WPT CEO Adam Pliska on the line. Adam, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, David. How are you?
I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well, too, because you got a big year coming up, 20 years for WPT. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much. It's been a remarkable ride, and I kind of look back at all of the remarkable chapters, and, it's so nice because when basically everyone in the industry has contributed to WPT's story in one way or the other. Everybody has some kind of place in which they've touched the brand, and it's a nice time to reflect.
I got to tell you, for a long time, I've enjoyed your events. I've watched WPT on television. I even get learned WPT lessons in my inbox a couple of weeks, so I'm hooked on the WPT. Nice. And the World Poker Tour has been such an influence for a generation of poker players, mostly because, as you said, of the incredible people that were involved with the World Poker Tour. As a person who guides WPT as its CEO, what has been the philosophy of the World Poker Tour for the poker industry?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've really tried to, first of all, I think, it's important to understand that, I didn't create the World Poker Tour. So I had a different perspective. Steve Lipscomb, and in fact, it was International Women's Day, yesterday or the day before, and as I mentioned at the Poker Awards, the World Poker Tour was originally founded with Steve Lipscomb and two remarkable women, Robin Moder and Audrey Kenya, who set that out and had this vision, and Steve had this vision. They executed. I came in, 6 months later, but as the general counsel. But I've always seen myself first when I was the lawyer, and we brought them public, and we went through all of those things, creating all of those relationships with the casinos. To 7 years later, when I took over. I've seen all of the contributions over the years, and you realize the most important thing to me is to be a steward of this brand and this ethos. And what we try to do is create a canvas for people with great talents and ability and an attitude of dignity and respect to each other can come and add something to this thing that we started, and that's just kind of created a snowball, and we're quite proud of that.
We were talking off air about, over the last 20 years, the poker industry has gone through changes, and certainly the last couple of years, the poker industry and gaming industry has gone through lots of changes. I mean, as we come out of this crazy 2 years of the pandemic and people are starting to get back at the tables in bigger numbers, what do you think the state of poker is, and how has WPT adapted in light of what we've gone through over the last 20 years and the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, first I just want to start by saying thank you to all of the, the poker industry for being such a support, not only to the World Poker Tour, but the other poker entities. Yeah. When this happened, I mean, I remember our first event, our event in the Philippines, that's when we were first hearing of this thing called COVID-19, and it may be affecting some of the numbers. Who knew at that time what the ultimate effect would be? But the patronage and of the players to go online, there was a book many years ago called How the Irish Saved Civilization. It was basically about how during the medieval times, these monks in Ireland kept all the knowledge going. And you look at, press, like yourself and those players who went online to keep those touch points going. It kept us going at a very, very difficult time. But what it also did is, I think, again, not just the World Poker Tour, but through others, we developed best practices that are going to make this industry stronger. I mean, I remember the first, the event where we're like, well, we need to have an event. We have this charity thing, and we can't be physically together. And we got Jose Andres and John Hamm and Jason Alexander and Kelly Slater and a group together, and we were and we couldn't physically be in their places, even to show them how to, go online. And we had to tape a show like that. And the ingenuity and the creativity of people coming together, it felt like the very early days. It felt like 2003, 2004, the World Poker Tour, where we're just kind of making it up.
Yeah.
And I know that was replicated at, with Maury at Poker Go. I know it was replicated at World Series. It was replicated in many places. And the result is, I think we have a stronger industry. In addition, I think a remarkable thing happened that we had a fear that didn't come to pass. Our fear was, poker's not going to be available. People are going to lose interest. On the contrary, they realized how precious it was, and the degree of pent-up interest anytime you could see it, the record numbers when we finally would come out, I think is a result of that.
And you're continuing to do something great for the poker industry as we come out of the pandemic and back into the live tournament scene. And one of the big and exciting changes for the World Poker Tour is the debut of WPT Prime. I mean, I've been reading articles about it, and it sounds like an incredible tournament experience. For people who don't know, what is WPT Prime?
Yeah, so Prime is the base level. First of all, you may remember the WPT Deep Stacks.
Yes.
Which Deep Stacks brand, which is served us well, and that genesis was, years ago we did big main tours very well, and our regionals, those are areas that we always knew we could improve. Thus, I ended up at a breakfast with Chris Torina. Next thing, we were acquiring that company. Chris helped us greatly. Then it was developed more into as part of our canon of events. But Prime is an evolution of that. It is a way, now that Deep Stacks had so much popularity, it's a way of standardizing this so that those people at that mid-major level can really truly feel like they're competing, not just playing an ancillary event on the WPT, but playing in something where they're being recognized, the awards, they're being followed, they're being tracked in a serious fashion, so that they can, whether or not they're ready to step up to the main tour level, they're going to be treated in a way that that's respectful of what they're doing. And I think you're going to get a whole new audience from that as well. It also gives us a great chance to put a lot of people into the World Poker Tour events through a number of initiatives that you'll be hearing about over the next 6 months.
Well, where are some of the events being held that involve WPT Prime?
Yeah, so we do have events coming up, but first we're going to complete the Deep Stacks events, which are just right around the corner. We have from that we have the Netherlands coming up, which is a wonderful stop, and I can just say that it is such a great thing to hear Europe opening, opening again. And down in Sydney, in Sydney as well. I'm actually going to go. I'm so happy to be leaving the country again, and coming out. But you're going to be hearing a lot about the primes coming up, and and as I say, in a couple of weeks you'll be, we're going to be giving a far more robust, some more announcements. But I think people are going to love this.
You mentioned the retirement of WPT Deep Stacks. That's been such a popular component of the World Poker Tour since 2014. Was that a difficult business decision to let Deep Stacks phase out, or do you think WPT took that as far as it can go as a tournament series?
No, I think that, I actually, the one thing about World Poker Tour is it is always evolving, and it is changing, and I love that about it. It is part of our story. It's not that we've decided, Deep Stacks was a mistake, or on the contrary. I mean, Deep Stacks did great things allowing us to engage with that market. But it is an evolution for us, and we should always be changing. It's just like as I said that the Poker Awards, when we changed the name of the Champions Cup and it became Mike Sexton, Mike Sexton's name got on there. I think, that was an evolution.
Sure.
What we do with main tours, as it was a very big deal that you were going to do main tours and you're going to film the TV events in a central location in Las Vegas. That was quite controversial. But we're always going to be changing. We're always going to be evolving. But when you look at the genesis here, it's actually a tribute to Deep Stacks, because Deep Stacks did so well for us. We realize that now, this is an area that we can give the same degree of, sanctity that we would do for main tour events right at that prime level. So I think that's going to benefit the players quite a bit.
Now, for people who enjoy WPT on television, what can we expect from WPT Prime? Can TV viewers expect full coverage of all the events from WPT Prime?
So we will get you will have streams, and so you're going to be in which I just. Here's an example of where the industry has just done so much, right? Look at what streaming has done. Yeah. Over the last few years and how great that is. But, to your point, I can imagine even primes finding their way on TV. It is possible, and it's something that we, it's as part of the lineup that you will see on the, on the main distribution on Bally Sports or the other things as well.
Well, now, speaking of TV, World Poker Tour just signed a deal with Fubo TV. And truth be told, this radio show signed an affiliate deal with Fubo. And as part of it, they gave us a subscription to the streaming service. So I was extremely happy when I read that WPT is distributed on Fubo. So I'm going to be extremely selfish with this question and ask you, what can I expect to see from WPT on Fubo Sports Network?
Yeah, you're gonna see classic shows.
Great.
You're going to see the great thing is you're just going to be able to access the World Poker Tour in ways, all of the time, and keep those touch points. And, one of my favorite things is, I travel around the world and somebody will say, oh my God, I saw in season 5, we did XYZ, or season 7 had XYZ. And it is, it is a chance for making the World Poker Tour that much more accessible. And we're very excited about that. That extension of Fubo TV. We have. If you look at the numbers of the World Poker Tour, it is amazing. But the reach of the World Poker Tour has gone from, say, 50 million to 300 million worldwide, and it is deals like this that allow that to happen. And it is we do everything that we can to make sure that the World Poker Tour is available to people at maybe they're a part of a subscription, but that's it. We just want people to be able to, see that service, and we love the fact that we have so many followers.
By the way, season 10 was on Fubo today, so I was just watching it today before I came down to do that thing. So, but as a media property, WPT is a media property. How important are streaming platforms in today's media landscape? As a person living in the New Jersey, New York area, I've seen WPT programming on some of the local New York sports channels. Will you move away from that and concentrate on streaming platforms, or will there be a combination of both? How do you move forward with
They're incredibly complementary as part of the World Poker Tour strategy. So part of the reason that WPT has succeeded so well in the OTT, the digital world, for those who are, watching online. And to give you a sense of what I mean by that, the World Poker Tour itself is in the top 10% of all programming that is on these OTT channels, and in the top 4 or 5% of all sports. It has really, really been great for the World Poker Tour. But part of the reason is, we still have this relationship with linear TV. It still hits a lot of people. it still keeps that quality extremely high. And sometimes we forget, we're sitting here, you're in New Jersey, I'm in California. We sit here thinking about the U.S., but we have a neighbor down here in California. We have Mexico.
Sure.
And Mexico is having over 2.5 million people watching that show in a week on free linear television, right? I mean, these are massive, these are massive numbers. And, interesting enough, you look at some of those splits, there have been times that demographic has been 50-50 male and female, which is something that we hadn't seen in the U.S. before. So linear television is still going to be a very big part of what we're doing. It's just going to be complemented with that ease of access that these incredible, the incredible OTT distribution provides.
I want to ask you about another great way the World Poker Tour is connecting with its fans, and that's through their partnership with something called FanJolt. It seems like it's a very innovative way to really connect with your audience. For people who don't know, what is FanJolt?
Yeah, so FanJolt is, FanJolt is a great platform to, if you have a celebrity, somebody that you want to connect to, that you're really, serious. Not just, you're on Instagram and you follow multiple people, but somebody who you're like, you have an investment in that person, and you really want to have an experience at a different level. FanJolt allows that. FanJolt allows, people not only to follow them, but to have conversations where, you can have chances to, you can have chances to have direct one-on-one conversation, be pulled into the conversation, elect to, have one-on-one experiences that are really, really unique. And so it's kind of, this is a chance to, oftentimes we're fans of people, and then we're kind of super fans of people. We always have those groups. I for my nephew, I won't disclose what football star, but I put him in touch with. But he was on FanJolt. He couldn't believe it. Next thing he knows, he's talking to a star. He's having a one-on-one experience, and for, a kid in his teenage years, this has allowed him to, go back to his school and really have something to talk about. But for us, there are, in this world, how do you connect? How do you really able to connect so that the celebrity knows who you are? And what I love about FanJolt is it's very it's discriminating. Those who are on it, who they pick on their, the criteria. It's great. I know the people behind it. I completely, I highly suggest everybody go down there. If for anything else, download FanJolt app, go check it out.
It sounds like an incredible opportunity for fans to actually talk with their favorite World Poker Tour celebrity. So what, people just go to FanJolt and download an app, or do they go to WPT website, or how does that happen?
Yeah. I mean, we can, we'll link you there, but you can go down and get the FanJolt app and, sign on there. You'll see our section and see where you can you interact. But it is a terrific opportunity. It's one of those things, you'll go on there and then you'll also find a bunch of other people that you're like, my God, I would love to do that, or this is a great gift. That was my thing with my nephew, is give him a gift. But it's a fun experience, and it's a different offering that's out there. It's there are other things where you can pay money and be in a group, but you're really in a group of a very, very large group. This is really a chance to, this is about interaction, real interaction with the celebrity of your choice.
The great thing about WPT is how it uses technology to really connect with the poker industry and its fans. I mean, one thing that's been in the news lately, and I can't do an interview or a news story without mentioning these things, and they are non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. I think WPT is doing amazing things with NFTs with the launch of the Poker Heroes Club. What is the Poker Heroes Club?
Yeah, so first, World Poker Tour had some history now with NFTs, before we even got to this, and that we launched our NFTs, which is a couple people in my organization basically came to me and said, hey, you know, we really need to get into this. There are people who want to be able to own a little piece of, World Poker Tour moments, and we've been able to do that. And that has been great. And, you know, with that, we were able to share some of the profits with the players that were on there as well, which is nice. But it's been great because there have been people who've, you know, and it's been a robust interest of people who've been able to take download moments. But, you know, the Heroes is going to be in connection with some online partners, as the online partners that we work with, and you're going to be able to unlock different things, and that's what's really going to be exciting. We're going to be able to, as you know, WPT has a long history with, you know, at least for the last 10 years, of having online partnerships.
Yeah.
And as that plays out, you know, and you're going to be able to get NFTs that unlock special privileges, special events and things, and the WPT, you know, physical events and the online events kind of tie together. You're going to see that NFTs are playing a very, very important role. NFTs have, you know, had the same criticism as Bitcoin. Oh, well, is it just, you know, is it speculative or whatever it is? But the nice thing about poker is poker, as you know, used crypto technology. I mean, people actually used it, right?
Yeah.
And absolutely with NFTs. I mean, this is a very new chapter, but it is a chapter that provides a utility that's going to be great for on and offline events. And you're going to see that mix of on and offline activity come together more than ever this year.
You know, a couple of weeks ago on the show, I said I'm constantly talking about NFTs, but I don't own one. So I'm looking for my first NFT, and I think this might be the one. So as a poker fan, as a poker player, but a non-NFT owner at this moment, how do I go about becoming part of the Poker Heroes Club and acquiring my first NFT?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all of the thing I say, you know, go online, go on to our online. We'll link you there. We'll bring you to it'll get you to the spot. You can download that, get ready. And in the meantime, you can also go onto, you know, Theta Network and get the WPT moments as well.
Okay. You know, one of the interesting things I saw when you acquire your Poker Heroes Club NFT is that you can actually play against some of the World Poker Tour celebrities. I mean, you can actually sit at a table with Vince Van Patten, Tony Dunst, and Lynn Gilmartin.
Yeah.
I mean, how does someone actually get to do that? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd lose to each and every one of them, but what an amazing experience that would be. How does someone get to sit and play?
And by the way, not necessarily.
I have absolutely no confidence in myself. So.
Well, I mean, that's the part of the utility is that these NFTs are allowing special opportunities, and it gives us a chance. You know, we used to do before there was ever NFTs, there was Club WPT for people in the U.S., right? ClubWPT.com. People got a membership to ClubWPT.com. But what did it mean to be part of Club? Well, it meant that you had opportunities that were happening all the time. And one of my favorite is that we would randomly pick people and take them to the WPT cruise. You know, I mean, last cruise was in Europe, and we did 7 stops, and there were people on it who were like, "Oh my God, I joined the club, and now I was able to go on the cruise and go through that." Well, imagine that on NFT form, where you are going to be invited to special things, special binds. They play, and you know, if that's what COVID did show us. You know, with Lynn and Matt and Tony and Vince, they loved playing online, and so they will love that. You can throw them off. Don't worry, I'm putting my money on you, Dave.
Oh, thank you very much. And now, one other person you could possibly play if you get your WPT NFT is your newest ambassador, and that's Steve Aoki. I mean, Steve's an incredible poker player and also a genius music producer, so he's famous in 2 worlds. What role will Steve play as an ambassador for WPT?
Yeah, well, first of all, I couldn't be more excited to have Steve on. What you're starting to experience and what you will see throughout the years, that WPT is making a lot of changes more and more toward the lifestyle that's around our that's around our tournament. And yes, Steve will fulfill all of those things that you would expect in an ambassador. You're going to go to events, you're going to see him, you're going to have some special opportunities to meet him. But more than that, for what I'm excited about is, I just recently had dinner with him a couple weeks ago, and we were just talking about all the fun things that we can do at WPT. He is really helping us to think about the creative experience that we're going to be developing around the World Poker Tour. And to me, that's a very different way of using an ambassador, right? I mean, oftentimes we see ambassadors, they're the good representation. They're, it's nice to see them at the event. You can interact with them. Well, that's all going to happen. But Steve, as you said, this guy is a creative genius and a really good human being. I mean, he's just a super good human being. And his thoughts and energy, and he's so excited about bringing what you would experience, some of those elements. I after we had dinner, I went to one of his shows, and it's magical, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to bring a little bit of that magic to around WPT events, and he's going to be a big contributor of helping us format that.
You answered my next question, because I was reading WPT's press release announcing Steve as the new ambassador, and they said he's going to help develop WPT with their new look and feel. And I was wondering what that meant. And I think that was a great explanation that, it's going to be fresher and ever changing. And I love the fact that the idea of an inclusion of a lot of people with Steve Aoki as your ambassador.
Absolutely. I mean, you can already start to see, the logo has changed, has a more modern look to it. You'll start to see those elements. Look, we just had an event. I mean, if there was any question of whether or not Steve is deeply integrated with World Poker Tour, I had this idea. I said, hey, could we just fly people in and go to your house? And the answer was absolutely. So, we had a contest, and people got to, put in for this contest. We took 5 people from all over the world. They came to Steve's house. We had a poker event. Phil Ivy's there. I mean, can you imagine? Wow. You're out there. You're on Instagram or wherever it is, and then you win this contest. You come in here. You get to go. You're a fan of Steve Aoki. You not only get to meet him, you get to spend a day at his house.
Wow.
You're jumping in his pool, you're eating his food, you go downstairs, you're playing at a poker, and Phil Ivey is across from you. I mean, it was a magical day, and we're going to be seeing, more fun things like that.
Well, WPT always has the greatest events, and as we move into the spring and summer months of 2022, what can people look forward to in the coming weeks or the coming months from the World Poker Tour in terms of tournaments and events?
Yeah, sure. Well, you definitely, like I said, if there's any chance you can get to the Netherlands, come and, meet me over there in the Netherlands. If you haven't been, it's such an amazing experience, and it's a wonderful thing, and it is a symbol to me that some of the more restrictive areas of poker are opening up. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be great. Yeah. Sydney is going to be great. Going back to Seminole, everybody loves being back into Seminole. Being up at Thunder Valley in late April, and going to Choctaw as well. Mm-hmm. Choctaw has done a remarkable job, and I remind people that it is, you think, oh, Choctaw, where, how am I going to get there? It's actually a great trip, and I've learned this from Vince Van Patten. What you want to do is, when you get there, you want to stop at some of the great barbecue places on the way.
Oh,
if you get there, and you'll have the best barbecue. Go up to Choctaw; they'll treat you well there. You come out, you have a great time.
Adam, we're running out of time, but if people want to find out all about the great work World Poker Tour is doing with events and tournaments, what's the website they should go to, and what social media addresses should they follow?
Yeah, go to WPT.com. Go to WPT on World Poker Tour on Instagram or Twitter, and I have I'm just going to make one little last bragging session here.
Okay.
Leading up a lot of our, online efforts and our journalistic efforts is Lance Bradley, who just, won for his article, the Poker Awards. I'm really excited about that and his team. But, come on, join us, come online, interact with us. We're going to be making reveals all year long of some fun things that we're going to do. But please join us to celebrate 20th anniversary, because everybody has been a very big part, and we're so grateful to it.
Adam Pliska, CEO of the World Poker Tour, thank you so much for coming on and telling us all about the great things WPT is doing. As a huge fan of the World Poker Tour, I'm sure your 20th year is going to be just as amazing as your first 19. Please come back on anytime you want and let us know what's happening with the WPT. Thanks so much for your time.
All right. Thanks so much, Dave.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. We'll get back to the show in a few moments, but I just wanted to take some time and tell everyone about Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country. They feature over 2,000 specialty coffee blends, all at your fingertips at beangenius.com. Here's how it works. Head on over to beangenius.com and take their palate profiler test to find out what coffee best fits your taste. Then select from a variety of subscription plans. Every subscription comes with free shipping, and delivery can even be scheduled for once or twice each month. And based upon your review of each coffee blend you try, Bean Genius actually learns your individual taste preferences and then suggests future coffee blends for you. And now you can get 10% off your Bean Genius subscription when you use our promo code PIKE at checkout. Bean Genius offers a variety of subscription plans to suit any coffee lover's needs. Subscribe with Bean Genius today and start enjoying some of the best tasting coffee around. And save 10% off your coffee plan with promo code PIKE.
It's a casino. People gotta win sometime.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a giant, colorful check to deposit.
Beatin the House is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Don't wait. Join in the fun now. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Grab a lion's share of the fun at BetMGM.com. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Turnpike Sports Beatin the House segment, where we're going to be talking about all the different casino wins, slots, online poker, table games, what have you. Whatever you win in a casino or that's casino related or gaming related, we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you who didn't win. People who bet on Kentucky.
Yeah, no.
Congratulations, St. Peter's.
Kentucky was a shock to a lot of people.
Yeah,
but you know what? Every first round, there's always something like that.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
It blew my brackets up a little bit.
Yeah, right.
But before we get into the jackpot wins, we've got just a little housekeeping. Casinos keep these press releases coming in. Info at turnpikesportsradio.com. So we can actually keep reporting on these. We're actually learning about these games as we report on them, and it's actually really great fun to see exactly the various types of slots, table games, and also, what the different casinos offer, too.
I find myself when I go into casinos to look for the games, like the slot machines that you talk about in this segment, especially the ones I've never heard of before. So it's a great source of information on slot machines.
I have to admit, one other thing. There are certain casinos I know nothing about.
Okay.
And getting some of these releases and news reports, it forces me to take a look at some of these, actually some of the smaller ones around the country, and also internationally as well. But let's get going, and we're going to go to Canada for our first story.
Okay, Canada.
We're going to the Golden Eagle Casino in North Battleford, Saskatchewan.
Okay. By the way, you just mentioned a casino you've never heard of. I've never heard of that one.
I've never heard of the Gold Eagle Casino either, but again, it's one of those tribal casinos up in Canada. North Battleford resident Gary Mann hit big on the Smoke Signals jackpot, winning a total of just over $1.3 million.
Okay, so what is a Smoke Signals jackpot?
I'm
Is that a slot machine? Or
I'm glad you asked.
Okay, all right.
The Smoke Signals jackpot is a top-tier progressive jackpot at the Saskatchewan Indian Gaming Authority's Gold Eagle Casino.
Okay.
And it is attached to several different slot machines in the casino.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Mann and his wife were playing a machine called Lago de Amor.
Okay.
They were taking turns.
Lago de Amor?
Yes, and they were taking turns playing it. According to Mr. Mann, they put in their money. He was the last one to start playing the game, and towards the end of their run, he hit the jackpot.
Wow, congratulations.
And according to Mr. Mann, the gods were with us.
Okay.
Native American tribes, all that.
Okay.
So,
great. Okay.
He didn't have his glasses on, so initially he thought he won $1,300.
Okay.
He finally realized he won $1.3 million.
No, wow.
Couple zeros.
Wow.
Couple zeros added onto that one.
So congratulations. What a great surprise that is. You think you won, what do you think he won?
$1,300. He won $1.3 million.
Wow.
See, everybody, bring your glasses.
I got my glasses right here.
Okay, we're leaving Canada and going down to Las Vegas.
All right.
Our next story comes from the Cromwell, Las Vegas. Caesars Rewards member Dennis Albers hit the mega jackpot on face-up Pai Gow poker.
Oh, more Pai Gow poker.
More Pai Gow poker.
Every week it seems like there's a new Pai Gow poker millionaire.
This doesn't say whether or not he had a side bet, but I'm assuming since it's face-up Pai Gow poker, there's a side bet involved in all this.
I guess.
This was a progressive.
I've never played Pai Gow live. People who listen to this show know I'm trying to learn it, and I'm learning online. So,
Mr. Albers was in town for meetings, and he had played face-up Pai Gow poker 3 times before winning his jackpot.
Okay.
Which amounted to just over $1 million.
Wow. Jeez.
In town for business, and he got a little business himself there.
Good for him. Man, that's a good business trip.
Oh, that's an excellent business trip. Staying in Nevada, we're going to the Harry Reid International Airport.
Yes, I heard about this one.
This used to be the McCarran International Airport. Yeah. They renamed it in honor of Harry Reid.
So it's not McCarran anymore. It's
people
Harry
still
Reid.
refer to it as McCarran.
A lot of people still refer to it as McCarran.
Yes.
But it's Harry Reid International
It's Harry Reid International Airport. There's signs all over the place that say Harry Reid. And as you're walking through the concourses, various concourses have slot machines.
Which is great.
Yes. Well, only in Nevada would you have something like that.
I wish, Atlantic City has a international airport. I wish they had slot machines in the international airport in Atlantic City.
It's something I've actually never looked into, whether or not somebody's actually looked into maybe passing a rule to have slots at a
well,
airport.
In Vegas, they have slot machines in grocery stores.
Yes.
So,
yes. And even the regular hotels, some of them have slot machines in their lobbies. Sure. But I don't know if New Jersey's ever considered doing something like that.
No.
But they would. They'd be good to do it because you got Atlantic City, like you said, but you also have the Meadowlands, which is right near the airport there.
Well, they're talking about putting a casino there now, too. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. Maybe it'll deal with the New York City casinos.
If they put casinos in New York, New Jersey's going to put one in Meadowlands.
Well, a visitor from California hit a massive jackpot while at Harry Reid International Airport. According to the airport itself, they tweeted this out.
Okay.
The lucky winner, identified as William J. from Van Nuys, California, was playing the Wheel of Fortune slot machine, another Wheel of Fortune jackpot.
Yeah, boy.
They're
money machines. I got to tell you, Wheel of Fortune.
He was in B concourse when he hit the jackpot of $328,655.
See, that's a great way to wait for a plane. You know how many times I've been in an airport just sitting around waiting for a plane for hours? It'd be great to have a slot machine there.
Honestly, I'd rather play slots
and I'd lose all my money. On the flip side, I would lose all my money. I don't have the luck that William J. has.
Well, I'm sure this guy said the same thing before sitting down at the machine or standing up. They have different types of machines there. I don't know if you sit down at some of these machines.
No, they're pretty comfortable chairs in some of those machines.
I've never seen the airport slots, to be honest with you. I've never seen a clear shot of one, I should say. Let's go to the East Coast now. We are going to be in New Jersey for the next 7 jackpots.
7 jackpots.
7 jackpots. These all.
By the way, I don't know if you can see it on camera. I have my Atlantic City.
Well, there you go.
Sweatshirt on, so I'm representing New Jersey here. All right.
Well, since we're showing shirts, I am representing Profit.
Profit. Okay, yeah. No,
Great guys at Profit Exchange.
Yeah, well, they call that a sports betting exchange.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's great.
So great guys.
Yeah,
Dean
we met them in
Sisson.
the Meadowlands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we had Dean on the
Dean was
show.
on the show, yeah.
So looking forward to their
nice looking shirt there.
Exactly. Let's see. Staying in Jersey here, we have 7 jackpots, like I said, all over $100,000.
Okay. Now, are these live? Or are they online? Or is it a combination
they're
of?
brick and mortar and also online.
Okay.
These all occurred in March.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we're just going to go right
a combination of things, huh?
Yes. We have on March 1st, somebody at BorgataCasino.com. Didn't say the name. This is off the New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement's jackpot list.
All right.
Borgata Casino, that's the online casino. A $150,646 jackpot from the Divine Fortune Touch slot machine.
That's another machine that's just fun to play, and it really gives out a lot of money.
I'm trying to figure out.
I love Divine Fortune.
I have to look this up because I wrote this down, and before we taped this segment, I didn't have a chance to look up what the difference between Divine Fortune and Divine Fortune Touch are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know the difference.
Unless this is a new variant that I'm not aware of.
See, I thought there was just one Divine Fortune, but apparently there's a different Divine Fortune.
Well, there's actually a Divine Fortune Megaways, too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Stuff.
Okay,
so
all right.
There's all different.
I got to
Divine
check it
Fortune's
out.
Starting to become like one of those other ones out there where like Wheel of Fortune or what's the other one? Monopoly, where they have multiple variations.
I have an account at Borgata.com, so I'll check it out. So.
The next one occurred on March 2nd. This is a brick and mortar at Harrah's, Atlantic City.
Okay.
Playing IGT's Video Poker, $100,000 jackpot.
Wow, that's great.
100,000 even.
Wow, great.
Going to back online, GoldenNuggetCasino.com. Mm-hmm. On March 4th, a customer won $100,000 playing Scientific Games Double Fancy Sevens.
Okay. Now, this is online, right?
That's online, but the Double Fancy
for
Sevens...
For a long time, Golden Nugget Online has been the #1 online casino in New Jersey. It's amazing the run they've had.
Well, they have been #1 in a couple different areas, especially in some of the other states, not just New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So, but again, Double Fancy Sevens is almost like a throwback to a classic slot machine.
Oh, okay.
So, 100,000 even there. On, let's see, same day. On a 10-cent bet at Borgata, this is brick and mortar, Bally's Jinsdao Dragon.
Okay. I don't even know what that is.
It's a, well, as
I get
you can
it's
tell,
a slot machine.
It's a slot
It's
machine.
an Asian-themed slot machine,
It's actually, if you ever, most casinos have this slot machine right next to the dancing drums or the dancing drums.
I won a lot of money on dancing drums. I love dancing drums.
No, you did Dancing Drums Explosion.
Oh, okay. That was a different dancing drums?
That's a different dancing drums. But this person, 10-cent bet, $117,000.
Wow, I didn't win $117,000. But...
Staying online, we're going to Betfair Casino.
Okay.
March 7th, playing Net's Divine Fortune Touch again.
Wow, okay. I got to check this out.
$436,635.
Wow.
No word on what the bet was.
So Betfair is
FanDuel.
is partnered with FanDuel.
Right.
Okay, so if I go to FanDuel, I can just jump on Betfair.
Exactly.
All right, okay. It's a shared wallet, too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, also, you also have Stardust there.
Stardust, too.
Next one is on March 8th, BorgataCasino.com, going back online again.
Okay.
We're staying online here. IGT's Cleopatra slot.
I've seen that.
That's actually a very good slot machine.
I haven't played it.
It's fun to play.
I've seen it.
It's fun to play.
It's usually one of the first ones or the top ones on the list of slot machines you can play. So.
As a matter of fact,
I have not played it yet.
It's been featured on several different online casinos because it's sort of a brand new game.
Oh, okay. All right.
Jackpot of $175,000. Actually, we're jumping over to the brick and mortar side of Harrah's again.
Again, really?
Harrah's, Atlantic City.
So it looks like Borgata Online and Harrah's Brick and Mortar are the big winners for jackpots, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
March 10th, $100,000 on IGT's Bonus, which is another video poker machine.
Okay.
So 7 jackpots in March already.
Okay.
One other thing for New Jersey before I get off the New Jersey stuff. We still only have one $1 million jackpot reported in New Jersey for 2022.
Okay.
Last year, there were 4.
By this time?
No, not by this time,
okay.
but all last year. So we're a quarter of the way there.
All right. Well, they're going to have a big summer.
Yeah.
So
we're going to end this week going back to the West Coast, as a matter of fact, the Pacific Northwest, with the Oregon Lottery.
Oh, okay.
we have a man who forgot about his lottery ticket winning a big jackpot.
There's a lot of stories about that. I know a lot of lottery offices send out notices, hey, someone hasn't claimed something. Is that what happened here? The lottery office sent a notice out?
This one I could almost understand. And I have my notes in front of me, people, if you're watching on TV. I just want to make sure I get this right before I even do this. Wilbur Brown of Springfield, Oregon, went to the Moose Lodge on December 24th, and he purchased a $25 Megabucks ticket. Megabucks is a drawing by the Oregon Lottery.
Okay.
The purchase allowed him to play in the next 26 drawings. So he was covered from December 25th, basically Christmas, to about February 19th, 20th.
So, wait, you buy one ticket, and those numbers are good for the next, what, you said 24 drawings?
What he purchased allowed him to play for the next 26 drawings.
26 drawings, okay.
So, after he bought the ticket, first couple of times he kept checking the ticket. Then he just put it away, and he totally forgot about it.
So he had more drawings coming up, and he eventually won on one of those drawings.
He basically got bored with checking and losing every day.
All right.
Well, that's sort of
what made
normal.
him look, though?
Well, he went to the lodge.
Oh, okay.
He hadn't gone to the lodge since he bought the ticket. He went to the lodge. Let's see. I want to get the date right here. He went to the lodge again sometime in February, before the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
He scanned his ticket.
Oh, okay.
The ticket terminal said, "See customer service."
Which is a good sign.
That's always a good sign.
It's a very good sign.
He went to customer service. The teller there revealed that Brown has, quote, a large lottery winner sign on the display from the teller side.
Okay.
So he went, checked the numbers for the Megabucks. He went to the website, checked the historical numbers, and he found he hit the entire winning number set on the January 29th drawing.
Okay.
For a prize of $8.9 million.
Whoa.
He totally forgot about this ticket.
Wow.
And he won $8.9 million.
Unbelievable. Good for him.
First guy also.
See, that gets me paranoid. Now I go up and look to see how many lottery tickets I have, and I recheck them. So.
Well, I have to admit, this is the first lottery story we're doing where the person took the annuity and not the lump sum. He took an annuity of $200,000 a year.
Okay.
Which
it's up to him.
Totally up to them, but
that's
I said,
the thing. When you win a lottery, you always have to check with your accountant, your money manager, and see what's best for you. So it's a whole process. You win the lottery. That's why there's always a gap in time when the lottery comes out and then a winner is announced, because that person's going to their lawyer, their stockbroker, their financial advisor, their banker, and trying to set stuff up for them. So
there's more planning involved after you win the lottery than there is before it. But anyway, he took the $200,000 a year, and the lodge, which, according to all the news reports, was actually falling on hard times because of COVID.
Okay.
They got $89,000.
Great. Good.
So that's all the stories we have for this week. Please keep those press releases coming in. I love these lottery stories where people
great.
forget their tickets and then find them again. It's always great to see that. It's always great to learn about some of these new slot machines.
Well, I hope that reminds people to check their lottery tickets if you buy them, You never know.
And, there's also lotteries out there have some of these second chance drawings, too. So hang on to some of those, too, depending on what lottery you're playing. But keep them coming in. We'll keep doing this segment. info@turnpikesportsradio.com.
The book report is next, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we talk about the state and national sports betting reports. We talk about some deals, launches, legislative updates, pretty much any type of business activity regarding the sports betting and gaming industry in the country as well as internationally at times. Please keep the press releases coming in to us at info@turnpikesportsradio.com. If you're following along on the television side of the show, you'll see even more news stories that we talk about here in the show as well as other ones we don't hit scrolling along the bottom. And there will be a print version of the Turnpike Sports Book Report up on the Turnpike Sports Radio blog after the show publishes, turnpikesportsradio.com. Click on the blog button and you'll see a full version in print of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. We're going to start off this week with a report from FanDuel.
Yes. Big news from FanDuel.
Well, it's annual report time for a lot of companies, and FanDuel has released their annual report. I should say Flutter Entertainment has released their annual report, and according to this annual report, FanDuel has now become the very first online operator to post a profit.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. I mean, you see all the numbers being thrown around, the handle numbers, the revenue numbers, but really, these sportsbook operators are, certainly they're paying their salaries of the people working for them, and they're paying the taxes and things like that, but not a lot of them are showing a profit yet, and FanDuel is the first one to actually say, yeah, no, we got a profit.
Well, it's very interesting how a lot of companies also handle their profit reporting.
Yes, very creative accounting.
Yes.
So a lot of tax deductions
you even have companies almost reveling in it. I mean, you have DraftKings over there saying we're losing money, but we're going to do it in the long run, so just hang in there.
So,
but Flutter has released their annual report, and according to the annual report, the FanDuel brand has finally generated a profit of $14 million.
Great. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking billions being spent over the last couple of years, but $14 million is the first little slice of profit that they have shown.
That's what makes this business so interesting. The exchange of money and how it's recorded and where the money goes and how it's spent and the profits and the promos and the things like that. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting. If you're an accountant in the sports betting business, you must be thrilled because it's such an exciting way to look at these numbers.
You do come up with creative ways to do the books, just to show exactly where profit is coming from and where it's not coming from.
Yeah.
Here, with regards to FanDuel, or at least the FanDuel brand under the Flutter Entertainment family, most of it's coming from the United States in terms of the profit. It's iGaming and online sports betting that they're talking about here. The majority of the money coming in of the $14 million profit. I can't believe we're saying $14 million is a great number, especially after they've spent, $1 billion last year in terms of marketing and acquisitions. But for the $14 million is coming from the more mature sports betting states or more mature casino states, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Illinois, older ones.
Let me tell you something. FanDuel is one of my favorite sports books. That's like my go-to sports book. That's the first one I look at usually because I like FanDuel. I like their iGaming component. They have the casino and stuff like that up on top. Certainly their daily fantasy sports, I've gotten used to them playing on the daily fantasy sports. We used to read commercials for them.
Yes.
Their commercials are very interesting for the daily fantasy. They always gave me a script in where I had to put in my personal experiences of that week, and I always lost on daily fantasy. So I was like trying to turn a good point into a terrible point, and like Dave from New Jersey took $15 and turned it into $5.
Yes.
So something like that. So what's no, I have an affection for FanDuel. So that's always my go-to book, my go-to casino, and my go-to daily fantasy. So.
Well, with regards to fantasy, the way to spin it was, I picked this wide receiver and he had 45 points in that one game, for fantasy points in that one game.
I know. That was they gave me a script. I love the script. I had a portion to introducing the product underneath the deal, and in between they always say, Dave, put your personal experience of the weekend. And I was like, oh, boy, you really want this?
Well, FanDuel is, according to Flutter, FanDuel is, actually, the iGaming, let's do the breakdown. FanDuel Sportsbook operates in 14 states. Mm-hmm. FanDuel Casino operates in 5 states.
Oh, okay.
Which where the iGaming brands of FanDuel operate in 5 states. And it's kind of interesting in terms of the overall brands that they do include here. It's FanDuel.
Yeah.
TVG, which is the horse racing,
Love
Greyhound
TVG.
Racing. FoxBet.
Okay.
Poker Stars US.
Yep.
And Stardust Casino, which also, I think on the platform, it used to be Betfair. Now it's Stardust.
Yeah. By the way, the Stardust is advertising a lot in New Jersey. They're really advertising, the golden age of gambling, and they're showing the old pictures of Las Vegas and things like that. That's how they're promoting it in New Jersey, the golden age of gambling.
Well, according to the annual report, in the fourth quarter of 2021, FanDuel brands are 31% of the market.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. Considering in New Jersey, anyway, there's about 25 online sports books.
There's 23, 24.
24 or something like that, yeah. So,
Colorado still has the most with about 25, 26.
Yeah. So, what percentage are they?
Overall. This is online gaming, iGaming, and
it's
online
huge
sports betting, 31%.
Wow, that's huge considering how many there are out there. Yeah.
That's just the fourth quarter. And also for the fourth quarter alone, online sports betting. According to their annual report, I'm going by their numbers, 40% market share for their online sports betting.
See, that's enormous. I didn't know they were that big. I know they were great because I use them all the time, but I didn't know they were that big.
Well, in terms of market size, when you go state by state, like New York,
market share is huge for them. I didn't know they were that big.
They are them. FanDuel, DraftKings, and BetMGM make about 90% of that New York market.
Wow.
Caesars is there too, but they're dropping out because they stopped their advertising.
New York, I always hear about Caesars. I mean, they're just I've seen Caesars.
You won't hear too much anymore.
I've seen Caesars commercials this morning. So they're all over the place marketing wise. Anyway, I guess they're going to curb that a little bit.
They announced they're going to pull that back. They hit their goal.
Yeah, I would guess so.
I don't know if they announced that too soon.
I don't know. But they have great commercials. They had the Mannings on. They have Halle Berry playing Cleopatra. They have amazing commercials.
But I think the problem with Caesars might be brand recognition in terms of when they're not in front of you, you don't think of them.
Well,
because I noticed when Caesars first launched in New York, they were the leader. First 3 weeks, they were the leader. Then they start slowly sliding down, and you got FanDuel as number 1, DraftKings number 2, Caesars there, BetMGM.
Yeah.
And I think it's a factor of they may have pulled their initial promo offer too soon, maybe.
I have no idea.
Because they were the $3,000 risk-free bet.
They're smarter than we are, so God knows
so.
Whatever they did.
I shouldn't question.
How dare you question?
But again, it's just interesting to see them starting to slide further and further back. And
we'll see.
I'm waiting for BetMGM to maybe overtake not only Caesars, but also maybe one of the other ones. I know FanDuel's number 1. What if BetMGM jumps up into number 2 at some point?
All I know is I have a bunch of them on my phone right now. So
taking up a lot of memory.
They're taking up a lot of memory on my phone. But I think that's all I use my phone for. I don't even think I barely use it
for
apps.
a phone.
Yeah, the least thing I use on my phone is my phone.
Yeah.
So So hey, why not?
Most of the time, I'm doing work on my phone on documents as well as doing Skype stuff, and the phone is secondary to the phone.
Yeah,
and that's kind of funny. Let's move on from the profit report from FanDuel to a little bit of March Madness. And March Madness has become more than just the brackets and the betting handle.
Okay.
It's a time when a lot of these companies bring out some of their big promos or big products.
Oh, okay.
In addition to like the BetMGM, that free bracket challenge that they run every year.
I did. I'm a part of that now.
I know
so
a lot.
I have to check it. I don't know how I'm doing, but I
think Bally's launched the bracket challenge as well.
Oh, did they?
Which
Okay.
was really cool.
Okay.
But it's also a time for expanded coverage, and given the fact that a lot of the sports books are getting more and more into content, it was interesting to see DraftKings partner up again with Beatin.
Okay.
They expanded almost to 24/7 in terms of bracket coverage on the DraftKings YouTube channel, Beatin, and a couple other areas for content.
Beatin is so much fun to listen to, especially during the games, because they're watching the games because they're reacting to the games, and they have some great personalities on Beatin. So I really enjoy watching them.
I just wanted to,
and listening to them.
I really wish
iHeart.
I'm going to have to go back and look.
Yep.
I want to see their reactions to that first upset. Kentucky.
Oh, the Kentucky upset? Yeah.
Yeah.
UConn got upset, too, in the first round.
But nothing like that. I think that was...
Kentucky. Boy, that hurt a lot
What
of
did
people.
ESPN say
God.
was the fourth biggest upset in bracket history or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
It was weird.
It's up there. So.
But again, and also there was the first report the next morning after that upset happening. I think... what was it, 192 perfect brackets remained after that upset. After several million people...
That broke a lot of people's brackets.
It broke mine a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you actually made money on that.
I made money,
you had a bet that what rank 15 would beat a 2 or something like that.
I had in the first round 15 would beat a 2.
Right, so you made
that 2.
Yeah. Well, you made out. You made out.
That too.
I mean, you turned lemons into lemonade, I guess.
But in addition to increasing coverage in terms of content, we've also got a group like PointsBet.
Yep.
Now, PointsBet just recently acquired a technology called, I want to get it right, Odds Factory.
Okay.
It's a proprietary technology where it allows them to create live data feeds. You know when you're looking at a game and you see suspended?
Yeah. Yeah.
They have the technology now to avoid doing that. The latency issues are starting to go by the wayside for PointsBet.
And let me tell you something. The technology in this industry is amazing. It keeps getting better and better, especially with in-play betting. They're getting the data to a lot of people a lot quicker, which is great for betting. And, I'm just so impressed the development of the technology in this business. It's great.
Well, PointsBet has been leading the industry in terms of the live same-game parlays features that they have, where you won't see suspensions of odds during games, where you can actually do almost immediate live same-game parlay. And what they've done, this is the first time they're using it for March Madness. They've been testing all this stuff out. They did it during the NFL playoffs. They did it during a couple of golf tournaments where they had the non-suspension of odds and numbers coming into data. No latency issues, or almost no latency issues. So they've incorporated that into their betting features, betting options for the micro markets during the March Madness brackets this year.
Okay.
And it'll be kind of interesting to see how the technology handles it, because there's so much going on.
Oh, yeah.
The bracket, what was it, something like 200 games or something? And
a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
And it's just crazy, where I remember when the industry first started, the big discussion was how are we going to handle the latency issues between the actual sporting events and the plays to getting the odds up onto the sports books.
Well, they're doing it. I mean, the technology is just amazing right now.
And again, it's a technology like this that can actually be used outside of the sports betting industry. The sports betting industry in the United States alone has been great for leaps in technology in terms of data transmission, data interpretation, interpolation, and it's just going to be kind of interesting to see where some of these tech companies go, because they're really tech companies. These books are tech companies, and it's kind of fun to watch some of these new products as they go along here. Moving over to some numbers, we're in what's called a lull for sports betting.
Really? I would think this is like a great time for sports betting. Well, I can't believe New
January.
Jersey's numbers. I mean, if this is what you're going to go into,
I'm going to talk about it.
I can't believe New Jersey fell under $1 billion in handle for the first time in like 5 months?
5 straight months of $1 or more billion.
They drop under the $1 billion in Super Bowl month.
Well, again,
really?
This is not Super.
But
February was not Super Bowl month.
I know you told me a lot of states had their handles drop.
Oh yeah,
in February, which is shocking to me. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable.
As far as I've seen in all the reports, only one state has shown a record handle, and that's Louisiana,
which is amazing.
It's a brand new market,
sure,
especially in terms of mobile betting. Mobile betting's only really 1 full month into this February. They launched at the end of January.
Well, they also had an LSU quarterback in the Super Bowl,
and an LSU receiver,
and an LSU receiver. So I wonder how much that drove the market there.
Well, in terms of the Super Bowl market, I think Mattress Mac had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, right. He drove over from Texas.
He drove.
Yeah. Well, he drove over from Texas, and he had to place a bet in Louisiana.
I think it was like $4.5 million.
I think it was like one of the biggest online bets ever,
if not the biggest.
Yeah. So I think it was a record. I don't know.
But according to the report, the February total handle, retail and online, was $238,413,000.
This is Louisiana.
This is a total handle record, retail and online together. Okay. First full month for online wagering in the state, $211 million, give or take.
Okay.
Again, first full month. Again, all other states were showing decreases. You had New Jersey, like you said, went down and did not pass the 1 billion mark. Here, let me read off some of the downs here. New Jersey, down almost 27%.
Okay.
New York, down about 10%.
And now this is all February, right?
This is all February.
Okay.
Iowa, down almost 30% from January. Oregon, down about 10%. Maryland, down 21.5%. Tennessee, almost 20%.
Wow.
Everybody went down except Louisiana.
And Louisiana is kind of an interesting state because not every parish or county, as we outsiders would call them, they're
outsiders. Okay,
but
that's an interesting
you
way
say
to phrase
parishes,
that. Yes.
you're thinking churches, but these are
counties.
These are counties
or townships.
Not all counties or parishes in Louisiana. You can't bet in every county.
No,
some counties
they're
illegal.
Counties. There are 9 counties that don't allow sports betting.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting state. So.
Well,
they broke a record, huh?
And they broke their record.
They broke their record.
Yes, but again, Louisiana was interesting from the very beginning because of the way those parishes operate. Mm-hmm. If you were a geotechnology company, geofencing, that's a test of your skills.
Yeah,
to actually see how good your tech is. If you can't go from parish
to
parish.
Like what we were talking about, the tech in this industry is absolutely amazing. And to see the evolution of the technology, I mean, I remember starting online casinos and online poker in New Jersey in 2013. The geolocation was terrible. I mean, I can play in one room of my house, but I can't play in the other room because they thought the other room was too close to Pennsylvania, and it was just a mess.
Well, this is now 2 topics. We just talked about the tech.
Yeah, no, it's tech. It's doing great.
Well, we'll see exactly what happens in March because basically this is the breather month between the Super Bowl. Okay. February is the breather month between Super Bowl and March Madness. I know you don't want to say it that way because
the Super Bowl was February 13th.
It was halfway through February.
It was halfway through February. There's no reason why there should be a lull in February, but apparently there's a lull in a bunch of months in February.
Well, most people still do their Super Bowl betting in January.
Oh, okay.
And it's just the way it is.
Although January had some great playoff games.
Yes. Some of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, it was a better game than the Super Bowl. So,
well, let's go from some of the numbers here to a job offering. I don't think we've ever talked job offerings.
No. Get your resumes ready.
Yeah, we'll actually have to do an employment segment somewhere.
Yeah, right. Casino employment.
Job openings.
Yeah.
The NFL. Given the fact that they've gone all in on gambling, it's about time they've done this. Mm-hmm. They are now looking, they've begun a job search or a search for a vice president, general manager of sports betting for the league.
Well, this came up on a couple of interviews I did. I mean, I interviewed the vice president of gaming for PGA. I interviewed the vice president of gaming for NASCAR, and I asked them both, is this going to be a trend? Are other sports going to be putting these executives in charge of sports betting. I mean, MLB, NFL, I think you're going to see this in all the leagues. You have to just to keep it organized, just to keep it running properly.
Well, the NFL is looking for, and I'm going to read the job description.
Yeah, right. Say what they wrote there.
The ideal candidate works collaboratively, which means you work with you play well with others.
Yep.
Builds consensus while anticipating future dependencies. Possesses strong interpersonal leadership qualities, and has a deep understanding of both the sports betting and the general sports business landscapes.
Okay, so I guess you just send your resumes to the NFL office in New York, right?
Basically.
So if anyone's interested out there to be the what's the actual title? Do they give a title that you?
Yes, they are searching for a vice president, general manager of sports betting.
There you go. If you want to do that, send your resumes to the NFL office in New York.
Basically, they want a guy who understands the actual betting industry, but also knows how to make the deals to make the betting industry.
Can you apply through LinkedIn or something like that?
I'm sure it's on there. I'm sure it's on there.
What's it? You Indeed, or is that one of those
probably
things?
Flooded with those things.
Okay, all right.
And also, they're looking for computer programmers.
Okay,
that can combine expert level skills with forward design thinking, which means they want
to create their own data so they can
Exactly.
license it and sell it.
They want their own game. Yes,
Yep.
yes, and digital gaming experiences is everybody's. Every sport right now wants that, especially like Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball actually had to carve out some gambling components in their new CBA.
Sure.
What was it? One was a hotline for betting related threats against players and their families.
Okay, and there was one. The league is forbidden to sell or license the biometric data of their players or any of the medical information of their of their players.
The league or the teams.
Oh yeah, the league or the teams. Yeah, and what was the last one?
Brand ambassadorships.
Oh yeah. They can go and look for brand the active players can look for brand ambassadorships from sportsbook operators.
And that's taking a nod from the NHL. The NHL allows active players to go get brand sponsorships.
Well, it makes sense.
Technically, it's not in their CBA, but it wasn't. It was and it wasn't. It was one of those things. So that's kind of some of the new, I guess, job offerings we're going to start seeing coming down the road. I mean, usually we're seeing sportsbooks doing compliance directors.
Well, one thing about the sports betting industry, it creates jobs.
Yeah.
You got to realize that.
A couple quick deals to hit before we're out of here for the week. Ocean Casino, well, this is a launch. Ocean Casino Resort release renderings of their new Gallery Bar Book and Games. I'm messing up the name now.
Yeah, no, it looks beautiful. I can't wait. I guess it's going to be open this summer, right?
Yep,
Okay.
1,200 square foot venue, which features a 100-foot elevated bar.
Wow.
I don't know how high an elevation it is. Maybe it's a step up. I don't know. But it's an elevated bar and lounge, 59 seats, 12 slot machines, blackjack and roulette tables surrounding
which is
the
really
perimeter
cool.
of the bar.
I mean, it's a full gambling experience while you're drinking. So
and you're going to
there you go.
And you're going to have 140 feet worth of LED walls lining the venue.
So you're drinking, you're watching the TVs, and you're going to get really dizzy from all the activity, and you're going to fall off the 100-foot of the elevated bar, huh?
Right.
Okay, just be careful.
Hall of Fame Resort.
They better have railings.
Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment Company just announced that, or they confirmed in their earnings calls, that they are partnered with Genesis Global for the online mobile platform in the state of Ohio.
Great.
The retail side is going to be handled by Rush Street. That's going to be in the hall.
Yeah.
So
sports betting right across the street from the Football Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Who would have thought that a couple of years ago?
Rush Street Interactive did a deal with Joaquim Noah.
Okay.
For brand ambassadorship in Illinois for both Bet Rivers and Play Sugar House.
Good.
Even though Play Sugar House doesn't exist in Illinois.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm assuming
I did not know that.
I'm assuming they're preparing for like maybe Florida.
Oh,
because he's played in Florida.
Yeah. Okay.
College ball.
Okay.
So maybe, I don't know. Golden Nugget Sportsbook in Michigan announced a deal with Detroit City FC. It's the inaugural season for Detroit City in the USL Championship League. You're going to see Detroit City lines on Golden Nuggets online sportsbook in Michigan, but nationwide you're going to see USL lines on Golden Nugget sportsbook itself.
Yeah. I haven't bet on soccer a lot, so
I haven't had the urge.
I don't know
I'm
when
sorry
they're
to say
playing.
that.
I know. I don't watch it. I don't know when they're playing.
I'm just sorry.
So.
I just I just don't. I don't bet on soccer. Last but not least, Stake.com. Now they're the guys who had Drake using them to bet on the Super Bowl.
Yes, that was a big story.
They are a cryptocurrency sportsbook.
Okay.
And in addition to doing a deal with Drake for him to do some content with them, where he's going to be playing on Stake.com, and people can play along with him and win money based upon his winnings.
Oh, okay.
Stake.com just did their first deal with the Formula 1 and Formula 2 racing with the Fittipaldi brothers.
Oh, okay. Big names.
Fittipaldis are going to be not only having Stake.com on their cars and other places, they're also going to be doing Twitch streams.
Oh, cool.
Giving their insight on races and whatnot regarding Stake.com.
Cool.
So that's it for this week's book report. Again, if you've been watching on TV, there have been plenty of other stories scrolling along the bottom. And also, there'll be a print version of this, which has even more stories that we didn't have time to get to this week. Head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button. You'll see the print version there. And please keep those press releases coming in, info@turnpikesportsradio.com.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.